Good morning, everybody. So today I'm going to show you how I put my vinyls on my paintings. So this is a painting that I did a little while ago. I don't have a video of it. It was a Dutch pour that I stretched a whole lot. It is very mute. It's not really bright. And I actually like it that way. And we're actually going to put Yea, Though I'll Walk Through the Valley of the Shadow of Death on here, and it's going to go on here in white and kind of follow this line here. But I wanted to show y'all how I prep the painting first. So this one was done about 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. It is completely cured. I know a lot of questions are asked, how long do you let a painting cure? I normally do a week and a half if it's a canvas, because the back of the canvas is still going to breathe. So you can go ahead and seal it and all that kind of stuff, and the back is still going to breathe if it's not fully cured. That's just my opinion. I have always done it that way, and I've never had any problems. But I would say at least a week and a half, 2 weeks before you really mess with it. I mean, give it some good time to cure. I've taken it outside and I've done a first couple of coats of the Krylon spray lacquer. I'll grab the bottle and show you the can in the next section of this video when we get to the vinyl piece. I always go, when I spray it, I will go this way, and then I will also go this way and kind of do a cross hatch and make sure that we get all of this sealed. Polycrylic can react badly to acrylic paint. It will actually pull the paint, and that's when you're going to get your lines and your brush strokes and all of that kind of stuff. So I always seal mine really well before I put the polycrylic on. We are using the Minwax water-based polycrylic. This is the clear gloss. You can get it at Lowe's, Walmart. I also put a link down in the description where you can just get it straight from Amazon. And then we are using a 2.5-inch soft bristle brush. And again, I put a link down in the description. I get these at Home Depot. I actually need to get some new ones. But I put a link down in the description to the ones that I use as well, where you can get them from Amazon. The secret to polycrylic is multiple thin coats. That way you don't get the cracking and all of that kind of stuff. So we are going to go ahead and put the first coat on. I'm going to just put a good coat on here, and then I'm going to go around and I'll pull the edges. The reason I do that is when you're brushing it, sometimes your brush skips coming over the edge, and then you're going to get a holiday all along, or an open space all along your edge. Then I will do the sides, and then we'll do long brush strokes to smooth it all out. I don't put any pressure on the brush when I'm doing the brush strokes. I simply lay the brush on here and then just pull, and kind of just whatever gravity is pulling it, but I don't put any pressure on it, and that's going to give us a nice smooth top. Okay? All right, that is our first coat. Once I am done with that, I will actually take a foam brush. I'm going to take a foam brush and I will just go around the side for anything that did catch. Polycrylic, if you leave it all clumped up, it is going to get dry cloudy. That's another reason you want to do thin coats, because if you do a really thick coat on top of that one, you have the opportunity for it to crack and craze. And the other one is actually, it's going to dry kind of a milky white, and it's going to take away the vibrancy of your painting. I also then take the foam brush and I go along underneath the painting for any drips. Again, if you leave the drips on there, they are going to dry with a haze to them, and you're going to be able to see them. All right, we are going to let this dry for a couple of hours. You always want to make sure that this is fully cured, because whenever you put your vinyl on with your transfer paper, if it is not fully cured, the transfer paper might possibly pull up sections of it, and then you're going to be able to see it. So we are going to let this fully cure at least a couple of hours, and then we will be back to put on our vinyl. Hi everybody, welcome back. So it is now the evening. This went ahead, I left it to dry while I was at work. And so the next step is we are going to get our vinyls put on. This is a 12 by 24 canvas. And so, I'm sorry, 18 by 24 canvas. And because my Cricut maker will only cut at a 12 by 24 measurement, what I have to do is I actually have to break the scripture up and then rebuild it on the canvas. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting my vinyl ready by cutting out right to the base of the vinyl where I'm going to be measuring. Now the reason this is important is because you always want to measure and kind of have your places ready when putting your vinyl on. Because we put down the coat of polycrylic, once this adhesive vinyl touches the canvas, it's pretty much going to be wherever it drops. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have all of our correct measurements. So I'm just getting this ready, and I will show you why when we get to the measuring section. While I finish this up, yes, I do make my own vinyls. Yes, I do sell them on my website at guidedbyfaithdesigns.net. I have over 100, well, I have hundreds of options available. Trying to add new stuff all the time. Whenever you order vinyls from me, they will come on this yellow transfer paper. I will cut them, I will weed them, I will do all the work for you and put them on the transfer paper so they are ready to put on your canvas. If, like me, you're working with a larger canvas than what my Cricut maker can cut, which is a 12 by 24, and you need me to do it like this because you need bigger, just send me a message and I can let you know if it's something that I can break up or anything like that. So just send me a message, go see me on Etsy, send me a message on there, and then we can see what we can do. All right, so now that we have this ready, so this is designed to look just like this when it's finished. I think I like that spacing. Okay, so I want that to stay right there. We're going to slide those away. So what we're going to do is we are going to measure the base of those lines. So we're going to go about right here. And let's say we're going to make the base of the letters 6.5 inches. So that one is 6.5. And this one needs to come down a little bit. 6.5 there, and you just have to play with it and walk it down. All right, now that we got our letters in the right spot, what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of tape, we are going to put it right there at the base of that V. right there at the base of that H. So we're going to put this vinyl on first. So now that we have those pieces of tape down, we're going to remeasure again, just like in woodworking. Measure 3 times, cut once. It's basically the same principle here. So we are going to measure again. So 6.5, 6.5. We're going to move that out of the way. Got my cutting pad here and my vinyl, or my transfer vinyl. And we're going to use this same transfer vinyl over again for all of the pieces. What we want to do is we're going to put this on. See what I mean by that adhesive catching and going wherever it's going to fall? That's what just happened. We're going to put that right there so I can work the top first, and then we'll work on that piece. Then you're going to take your scraper and you're just going to really lightly but with firm pressure, if that makes sense, push that vinyl onto the canvas. Once we have that piece on, we're going to get our paper ready to put our adhesive or our transfer paper back on. We're going to slowly pull this back. Now, if you put your coat of polycrylic down first, this should actually come off pretty easily. That vinyl should stay down and not lift. If it does start lifting, just lay the paper back over it and kind of burnish it really, really well, and then pull. I like to lay it over on itself and pull backwards. Just like that. Now we're going to put this back on here so we can use it again and move it off to the side. All right, now we are going to work on the next section of it. Now when you're putting your next piece on, of course I designed for this Y to fit right in that area right there, but check your spacing here as well to make sure that you've got good spacing. Sometimes it is going to be more just because of the font that you use, but just eyeball it and make sure that, you know, when you do it, it's not up here or way down here and the spacing looks off. So again, take your time. This isn't anything to rush, to make sure that you get good spacing. All right, so that is going to be 10 3/4. And oh, that one's just over. So let's move it up just a little bit. be so much easier if I had my paper fabric tape. All right, that one's good. And that one's good. Shift it over just slightly, but not move the measurements. Okay, and we're going to do the same process. We're going to put our little pieces of tape. Now, if you order a vinyl that's all one piece, this is so much simpler. You literally measure the top and the bottom, and that's it. And then you can put your vinyl on. All right. That is 2 down, 1 and I'd say a quarter to go. The psalm, the scripture verse, the Psalm 23:4 isn't going to be that hard to put on. Okay, so we have 1 more to go. Okay. Twelve and a half. 12 and a half. That was a pretty good eyeball job. I don't know if that sounded right. Oh, I think I shifted it a little bit. We'll measure again. Oh, that's shifting a lot. Okay. Just going to put that back and we're going to measure again. 12 and a half. And okay. All right. Oh, there it is. It all fell. what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off just this little corner here for this part, and then we are just putting this down in the corner, and then putting the vinyl on is going to be all done. Again, just take your time. Don't try and rush through it. Make sure you measure and all of that. It is extremely easy to rip and tear vinyl, so you want to make sure. And this one I'm just going to eyeball. All right, all set. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this sealed. We are going to use polycrylic to seal this. Again, if you have problems getting your vinyl on, you probably don't have a good enough of a base coat of something. You can use Krylon spray lacquer. It does take a little bit more work and a lot more time to get it to adhere. Putting down one thin coat of polycrylic like y'all saw is my foolproof way of getting a vinyl to go on quickly and evenly, where I don't have to sit there and fight it. You can seal vinyl on with resin. Yes, you can do that. I would again suggest sealing it with something first before you put resin on it. If you did a coat of polycrylic, then I would do another coat of polycrylic. Sorry, if you did a coat of polycrylic on your base, I would do a coat of polycrylic over your vinyl and then put resin onto it. Or if you did just a Krylon spray lacquer base, then do a Krylon spray lacquer top. And then you can resin it. The reason I say that is if you try and resin vinyl that you have not sealed the edges on, resin has a tendency to leak underneath your vinyl and will lift it up off of the canvas. And it will completely ruin it, because once it's under there and it's lifted, you have to stand there for a while, taking a little needle and pushing the vinyl down and holding it there for probably a good 10 to 15 minutes until it readheres and that the resin is starting to harden and cure enough that it's not so liquid and it won't seep underneath. If you use polycrylic, you cannot, I'm going to repeat that, you cannot put Krylon spray lacquer over polycrylic. It will blush. Krylon spray lacquer can go underneath polycrylic, but it cannot go on top. You will blush and ruin your painting, and there is no saving it. No matter how much resin or anything you put on it, it won't save it. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Sorry if I annoyed you. I just want to give you as many tips as I've learned. I've learned all these through experience. And we are going to go ahead and get this sealed all together. I'm actually just going to move this out of the way. And I just realized that half that painting was probably off of the camera. Sorry about that. All right, so we are going to get this sealed on. I've got my polycrylic over here. Same stuff that we used earlier, the Minwax Polycrylic, using my soft bristle brush. Let me check and make sure everybody is in frame. We are, and I'm almost out of batteries, so we are going to get this finished up. So we are going to do a couple of thin coats, same process as last time. We are going to get the coat on first. Nice thin coat. We're going to pull our edges, make sure we don't have any holidays. Clean our sides. And then nice, long, smooth strokes. Not any pressure on the brush, just letting the brush run across the canvas. And we are going to smooth everything out. I will probably do a couple of more coats of the polycrylic on top of this just to bring out a little bit more shine. But that is it. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments section. Again, all my vinyls are available on my website at guidedbyfaithdesigns.net. Send me a message. Let me know if you have any questions. links to my website, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, as well as my website, guidedbyfaithdesigns.net. Sorry, that's habit. There's also a link down there if you'd like to help sponsor my channel. So I will put another couple of coats on this one, and then I will show you pictures of the finished product at the end. Thank you very much for watching. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful evening, and as always, God bless.